Hey y'all, this is Kim with Creative Escapades, and today I'm working on this birchwood board. I want to do a mixed media piece on here. Sometimes when I see something that I really like, I try to sketch it down and then go from there in my design. So that's what we have here. I made a sketch, and I'm going to start preparing the board for my paints. And I have this Liquitex Burnt Umber. This is Liquitex Burnt Sienna. And instead of using the white background, I'm going to be using the Master's Touch Dark Titanium White. Kind of wanted to have an off-white color to pour this pour my other paints onto. And by the way, I've also gessoed this board twice and sanded it in between each layer because I want to have a very smooth surface when this goes on. My next color is Artist Loft Light Green, and then I have Liquitex Hooker's Green. And the next color is this Craft Smart Apple Tart. That's a pretty green. And then next, after I get all organized, I have Artist Loft Fluoacrylic Green. And you're probably by now already thinking, okay, she's doing a landscape. Kind of, sort of, you're right. And then next, I am going to be using this Apple Barrel Light Blue. It's a sweet little color. And last but not least, I have this Artist Loft Cerulean Blue. So I'm going to start with my sky, and this is going to be several different techniques, and it's going to take me several weeks probably to do this piece, but we're going to start off by putting our base down of this dark titanium white and let that cover the entire board. And then I'm going to do a small dirty pour at the top of this board for the sky. So I've already put in some Artist Loft Fluoacrylic White, and I just added cerulean blue, and now I'm adding the light blue. I'm going to give it a little quick stir. And then just start pouring it. Not looking for any certain type design for the sky, just want kind of a blue sky with wispy cloud look to it. In retrospect, I probably should have all poured one way, but that's okay, because this will work just fine. So now I'm going to start tilting and allowing these blues and this little bit of white that I put in there to kind of mingle. And I want to run it off the top of the board. I'm not really caring for that up and down zigzag look, but we can fix that. That's not a big problem at all. I'll just add a little bit more blue to my cup. A dash of white. Maybe a little more blue. And then we'll just do a quick stir. And then pour this over. Get the paint kind of going the same direction. Tilt it just a tad. And then I'll just use my fingers to just kind of mingle the colors in where I feel like the clouds needs to be more blended. And I will be happy with that. Okay. Almost where I want it. Alright. And after I fix my prop back, then I'm going to just touch up the edges. Make sure they're all covered because I do want the design to go over the sides. And I'll take whatever paint is left in the cup and make sure that it's all covered back here. Alright, now I'm going to do just a small area of what I want to look like, well, I guess dirt. So I'm going to mix up the burnt umber and the burnt sienna. And then I'm just going to pour in just a small space down at the bottom of the canvas. I'm sorry you can't see that very good, but when you're doing this and your camera's way above you, sometimes you can't see what's going on. So now what I want to do is start adding my greens. And I'm going to do this in a couple of different ways. I want to add some of the colors and then come back and add some more. And what I'm after is kind of just a blurred greenery look. Not really after design jet because this is just the background. So I'm just going to pour this kind of in a haphazard manner. It's not any kind of design thought or anything like that. I just need the coverage there. I'm just going to kind of drizzle it all over. So now I have it pretty much like I want it. And so that I can get that blurred look, I'm taking some plastic wrap. And this is just your normal everyday kitchen saran wrap type. And I'm going to lay it down over this wet paint, the green. And just going to kind of move it around with my hands. Like I said, I don't want just any kind of specific design. I just want the paints to blend. And this is a great way to kind of get your paints blurred and still give you kind of a greenery look. When I say greenery, I'm talking about background of grass and leaves and things of that nature. Okay. Now I'm just gonna push it around with this board a little bit. This is just a piece of cardboard, and I'm just trying to get the paint to go right out to the edges. And as I'm doing it, you see I'm pushing some of the excess off, and it's allowing the paints to blend really nice. And now I'm going to pull the plastic up. And wherever I see when I'm pulling the plastic that it might need some paint moved to a certain area, I'm just using my hands and just kind of moving the paint underneath the plastic to achieve that look. And I'm going slow, but that's for a reason, because I want to make sure that I do have the coverage on there. Almost done. Just a little bit more. There we go. So we'll do just a tad touching up and trying to blend a little more in some areas. And then I'm going to tilt just a tad, kind of quick, because I don't want to move the blue paint a whole lot. And there we go. Okay. Touch up the sides. Anywhere where there's no paint, I want to make sure it's covered. And do a little more blending of the green right up here at the top, so that it looks more uniform. All the way across. And then I want to add just a background of branches, just lightly colored up through the green, different directions. And once I get done adding this, I'm going to let this dry and work on my scaling of what I want to put onto the board next. I'm just drawing it out, measuring it, and then I'll use this as my pattern. Before I start doing that, I want to add a little bit of flower detail to the board. And then I am taking resin Sculpt, and I am putting it directly onto my parchment paper here and getting my design down. Once I get it all on here, I will then paint it and then take it off this parchment paper and then attach it to the birchwood panel. So now I'm just putting it with the birchwood underneath so I can get an idea of where I want to put branches and the flowers that's going to be more 3D. And it's coming together pretty nicely. I like it. I want to tell you this took a lot longer than it's taken in this video. I'm going to finish trimming this up and then start adding my branch work, still using the Easy Sculpt Resin and using my X-Acto knife to make the details and make it look kind of like bark, and also the flowers. But this video is getting kind of long, and there's much more of it, so I'm going to make this part 1 and upload the second half as I finish it. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have, please click like and share. You help my channel grow by doing that. If you have not subscribed, please do so now. Ring the notification bell so that you'll get notified when I upload the rest of this video and others. And I want to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon in my next creative escapade. Bye-bye.